What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Take Action Lo. Thank you again for tuning in to another Take Action with Lo, a real estate investing show. I'm super excited to have a fantastic guest today, Miss Nancy Wallace-Laabs. And Nancy, thank you so much for joining the show and agreeing to take some time to do this interview. Man, you've been doing some things. You've been pretty busy, right?
Yes, I've been taking some action, and I'm so excited about where things are going, and I'm just excited about the book that's come out. My business has been taken off. It's just been awesome. I have some nuggets to share with the group. So to take action, that's it's all about taking action. You can't get where you want to be without taking action.
That's it, and you're on the perfect show just for that. So, it just worked out. Now, if you don't mind, share with our listeners, a little bit about yourself. How long you've been an entrepreneur, what was the motivation that came out of it, and just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, great. Well, when I started my real estate investing career, it was kind of a greedy moment in my life. So, when the housing market was going insane back in 2005, I lived in Phoenix, Arizona. And we had been in our current property about 8 years, and it was just it was nothing fancy, nothing to write home about, and we were looking to move into another house. And we started going around to open houses, and we were just shocked what people were paying for houses at that time. So you know what? We saw an opportunity, because I do believe in calculated opportunities and taking a little bit of risk, and we put our house on the market. It sold in 2 days.
Wow.
We quit our jobs, we packed up, and we moved to Texas.
Wow.
And have not looked back ever since. Now, I was not into real estate investing. I was just a little on the greedy side, but I took action because I saw an opportunity to make some money. And when we got to Texas, it was the first time in my career that I had been able to just sit back and go, what do I want to do? Now, prior to all of that, I had been in blood banking. I was a management consultant. I traveled all over the U.S., Canada, and even made a trip to England to help blood banks, get donors in cost effectively. So I've kind of always had that spirit as far as I'm always looking for the solution. I don't believe if it's broke, it can't be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
There's just another way to fix it. So took some action, and I actually created a very nice career for myself in blood banking, if you believe it or not.
Wow.
So then when we moved to Texas, I just sat back, and I had always been interested in flipping houses. I was just I'm so excited. Now I have the opportunity, a little bit of money. So I just happenstance met a lady who became my mentor, and she sold me my first rental property back in 2005. And I've been going strong ever since. And it's just been a great ride. And of course here, the market hadn't quite rebounded yet. And that is how I started my real estate investing career. Just, and then from that, I really wanted to learn about property management. So I took action, and I went to that same person and I said, hey, you should hire me. And of course she was like, I'm not going to hire you. You don't have any background. You don't know anything about real estate. You just bought an investment property. And I hounded her for 3 months, and I took action. I wrote her a very long letter why she should hire me. Although I didn't have real estate investing background, I wasn't a realtor, but I was very organized and determined. And I even offered to work for her for free. Now, she finally did hire me and paid me pennies to start out, but within a month, she realized that I was a good hire. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward 10 years, I became an expert in property management.
Wow. That's fantastic. Now, that's something I didn't know, so that's something we'll probably have to talk about later on. But, man, what a journey. So
yes.
I do have to ask, and I like to ask, I guess, a few questions about, as far as starting out. I mean, you said you guys just put your house on the market and you just moved. I mean, obviously there was a fire under you for change.
Yes.
But what about the fear factor? It
was scary.
Yeah.
We both had very stable, secure jobs. But, we were both, my husband and I were both kind of looking for, I guess, a challenge. I'm very spiritual, and I just felt like my gut was telling me, sometimes I work off of my gut. and I take action from what my gut tells me, and it just felt right. It just felt an opportunity. There's very few times in your lives where you can get out of debt. You can make a life change that, although scary, it was very emotional. But we both knew, we were confident in the fact that we could find jobs anywhere. But this opportunity was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and we said, you know what, we have to explore this. What's the worst that could happen? We end up, finding another job. I'm originally from the Midwest, so I wasn't opposed to moving to Texas. My husband is from Milwaukee, and so it was definitely out moving north. Yeah. So, Texas was kind of a compromise. I had lived in Kansas City for a while, and so that was one of our choices. So this was a great compromise to come to the Dallas area. And it just all worked out. And so, yes, we did have a little bit of fear about the unknown, but we also felt secure in ourselves that, you know what, we can go find jobs anywhere. And that's really the truth. You can find a job anywhere. I'm not opposed to slinging hamburgers if I have to pay my bills. I do what it takes. I take the action to do what it takes. But I also have big dreams. And with big dreams, sometimes you have to have goals, and you have to figure out, well, you know what? How are we going to do this? Not that it's broken. What we always used to say to ourselves is, not that we can't afford it, but how can we afford it? Yes. That's what we think. How can we afford to do this? How can we afford not to do this? And because of my blood banking, and my husband was also a management consultant as well. And, there's companies that always need someone to tell them what to do. So we were secure in that part, that we knew we could get a job anywhere.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Very powerful. So let's fast forward to now. How we met. I think we've met online. I know we both here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yes. And we've talked a time or two. And let's talk about this very exciting project, your book that has been recently released. Yeah. I got mine
excited.
Too. Absolutely.
So it was a childhood bucket list. When I was little, not very many people know this. I actually used to wake up in the middle of the night. I'm a very early morning riser, but I wrote poems. They were just kid stuff. And to this day, I still have them. But I always had this urge to write a book. I never knew what it was going to be about. And so it's just so amazing. I think that's a really cool thing about the real estate investing journey. You just never know where it's going to lead you. And you're right, Lo. We met, I think, at some networking event. I've seen some of your Facebook training and whatnot. And, there's a lot of women that are very successful in real estate investing. But when you go to conferences, you need to count on one hand how many of them are standing on stage. And it's kind of perplexing to me, because there are a lot of us that have been successful through the years. But typically when you go to a real estate conference, the mentors and gurus are usually men. Yep. So right. I guess I wanted women to have a bigger voice. Women love HGTV. Men do too, but I think the bigger audience is women. And, I was fortunate to have a mentor when I was starting my journey. And I just know and have met a lot of women that they don't know how to start, or they feel more than anything they lack the confidence. How did you start? What did you do? And so the book was kind of a culmination of, the target audience is someone that is just new and does not know where to start. Maybe they got a divorce and they need to get another job. Maybe they have watched one too many HGTV, and, the title Winning Deals and Heels is kind of ironic, because when you go out to real estate houses in some of the conditions, you would not be wearing heels. Or if you would, you better have another pair of shoes in the car. So it's just kind of I guess it was iconic just to kind of reach out. And, there's 11 total women in the book, but there are hundreds of successful real estate women. And I'm so glad that you were part of the book. And most of the gals are, local here to Dallas. Yes. We do have one from Houston, but all successful in their own right. And we all do different things. Yes. But there is a theme to the book. And I guess I'll tell you, even though you could buy the book, the theme is to be consistent and take action and find a mentor. And those are really, out of everyone's story, that is the 3 key ingredients to being successful in this business. So
Absolutely, and you're so right, and I'm so glad and excited and
I know, and
blessed
the other thing is I just want to make a shout out to Hope Store. So
yes.
I elected to have part of the proceeds be donated to Hope Store. So for the listeners that don't know what Hope Store is, it's here in Plano, Texas. It's a nonprofit organization that helps families, women and men, children heal from domestic violence. They're a great organization, and this Thursday, so excited, we're going to have a group book signing. So of the 11 women, we have commitments from 10 will be there to autograph the book. I mean, this is like, we're all so busy, and it's just amazing that we all are coming together, and we're doing it at Hope Store, and they're having their resale store is, they're rebranding, reopening, so they're having a celebration. They invited us to come along. I was like, great. We have a title company that's going to have some. I'm going to shout out to Tiago Title, because they did. They're going to be bringing the food for us.
Awesome.
And it's going to be an awesome event. So this Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30. That's April 11th. And I'm just a quick. The address is 2129 Parker Road in Plano. So that's my shout out for Hope Store.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And yes, for all of my replay folks, and if you're watching this and listening to this after the event has passed on, don't worry about it. Just Google Amazon. All right.
Yes,
Google Amazon.
And also they can actually Google Winning Deals and Heels, and it'll take them right to a link.
Perfect.
And remember, when you buy the book, number one, you're finding out about all of us and our journey, Lo, myself, and all the other gals. And your purchase, remember, part of it's giving back to Hope Store. So make a difference.
Yes.
Take action. Buy the book.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you couldn't have said it any better. So I couldn't have said it any better. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to be a part of this project, to be a part of your book, is because when you shared the organization that part of the proceeds were going to, I said, absolutely, I definitely want to be a part of that. So again, thank you. So I'm honored.
You're welcome. And I do meet, people say, well, why did you write the book? And it kind of started out as the differences between men and women in real estate investing. But if you've been around the block a couple times like I have, there's differences no matter what you do. You always need confidence. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to find a mentor and a support group that's going to, maybe you're single, or, I meet women all the time that just want to, how do you get into it? And they just, they're taking care of their families, and they don't make time for themselves. And so they think they can't do it. They don't have the confidence, or maybe they don't have the support to do it. So one of the things that I love doing is mentoring new people that are trying to get into real estate investing. I was fortunate to have a mentor that helped me, avoid serious financial mistakes. I think that's what really scares people,
yes,
because it is money and property. And so I like to give back to people that are starting out. So this book is kind of a way for me to give back and say, hey, you know what? If we all can do it, we're all regular people that just had a passion. We wanted to learn. We're continually growing. So we took the action and we made it happen.
Absolutely. Made it happen. And you're making it happen. Nancy, I thank you so much. I have two quick, simple questions that I want to ask before I let you go.
Okay, great.
One, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you getting out of bed, even though those days are rough sometimes, because we're not always on 10 as entrepreneurs. We have our days. What's one thing that's a motivation for you to keep you going?
I would say my daughter. My daughter, I want to, she's in her early 20s now, and I always want to be a good example for her, and for other women as well, but for her particularly. Sometimes you just don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to make that one more call, or oh my gosh, I have this one more issue I need to straighten out on title. But you know what, I want to show her that, as an entrepreneur, that, you just have to keep going if you want your dreams to happen. So I've tried to instill in her that if you want something bad enough, that you just have to be consistent, and you just have to kind of fake it till you make it kind of thing. So
absolutely. Perfect. So family. Now, last question. What is like your favorite book or podcast that you like to read that kind of keeps you inspired and motivated?
So, there's so many of them. I love yours, and, Jim Ingersoll, he's wonderful. But you know who really kind of took me to the next level, and it's probably so cliche, but Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
When I read 10X, I was like, dang, this is the way you really need to think, because I always set goals or whatever, but you know, he really talks to you about setting even bigger goals. Like the book was a really big goal, but I don't know that I would have been so inspired to really make it come to fruition. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I've always wanted to write a book. And he talks about he always wanted to write a book or, you know, make a movie or something like that. So I was like, and I just love the energy. I listen to him on tapes, and his energy just is infectious. I love it.
Absolutely. He's one of my favorites as well. Perfect. Nancy, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Again, where can people go to get the book?
Thank you so much for taking action and inviting me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you on Thursday.
Absolutely. And where, again, can people go and order the book?
So then go to Amazon.com or just Google Winning Deals and Heels, and there's a link that'll just take you right there to go get your book. So, hey, get your book. Come bring it out on Thursday. We will have a few copies that will be selling if you run out of time to get it online before Thursday. But do come by and meet all the gals that are in the book and be inspired.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everybody, remember, it's time to go take action.